For the first time in its 95-year history, one rich in racing, Moto Guzzi brought its Italian brand to the 76th Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. Could there possibly be a better crowd that can truly critique a bagger? The machine is a new MGX-21 Flying Fortress, which was created by the iconic Miguel Galluzzi, the 59-year-old Argentinian who also designed the Ducati Monster, Aprilia Dorso Duro, plus the Moto Guzzi V7 Racer and California 1400. Galluzzi, along with Ducati 916 designer Massimo Tamburini, is one of my all-time favorite motorcycle designers. His current position is head of PAD, Piaggio Advanced Design Center, located in Pasadena, California. Pictures of every bike Galluzzi has designed hangs on my son Enzo's wall for inspiration. What else can a toddler need? My passion for Galluzzi's energy on moto paper made this launch special, but would the MGX-21 live up to the icon's name? I quickly found out. Besides nearly 400 miles of testing the MGX-21 in the never-ending Black Hills surrounding Sturgis, I also piloted the same machine I tested, home to Pennsylvania. Home is about 2,000 miles from the hotel I also called home for 3 days, the Spring Hill Suites Deadwood, which is in the same town where Wild Bill Hickok was killed in 1876 while holding the dead man's hand of aces and eights. But more on those travels soon. A full review based on the 3-day tour will follow. For now, here are the ultimate motorcycling fast facts you need to know. 1. The name, Galluzzi and the folks from Piaggio, owners of Moto Guzzi, Aprilia, and Vespa, which creates the gateway machine for many future motorcyclists, simplify the name. Milligrams stands for the obvious, Moto Guzzi, and X for something unique and against the standards of typical baggers. The 21 represents the front rim and tire with its carbon fiber inner cover. As for Flying Fortress, that comes from the bike's design appearing like the Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress. The B-17 long-range bomber dropped more bombs during World War II than any other U.S. fighter plane. And yes, there's also the obvious hammerhead shark look. This was noted as a design intent. 2. The platform, the MGX-21 is based on the shaft-driven California 1400. The engine, which produces 97 horsepower at 6,500 RPM and 89 feet/pounds of torque at 3,000 RPM, and frame are exactly the same, but the suspension is upgraded to accommodate better handling. The MGX-21 has a 45mm fork with a comfy but superior handling 4.2 inches of travel, and a dual shock setup that allows spring preload adjustment just above the right foot peg. For those who want handling, start with 5 clicks from full turn. The front rim is 21 x 3.50, and the rear 5.50 x 16, shod in Dunlop E3 rubber. And yes, that's a true 2-inch exhaust pipe coming off those beautiful red air-cooled heads. This is also the first Euro 4 compliant Moto Guzzi. 3. Weight and seat height. Though those opposed 90-degree cylinder heads add girth, the MGX-21 weighs just 751 pounds wet. Things look top-heavy, and they initially feel that way taking the bike off the kickstand, but the balance becomes better and better as speeds increase. As for seat height, the MGX-21's saddle is just over 29 inches off the ground. 4. Ground clearance. This was one of my initial worries, considering I destroy floorboards, pegs, and exhaust pipes on every bagger I ride. Let's just say it took some effort to find the absolute bottom, but even after a wicked top speed ride with proper body position, I only scraped maybe twice. And not one stage-side bagger remained in sight. Besides not scraping, there are no worries about smashing the exhaust into the standard 8-inch tall curbs when backing into a spot. The exhaust is higher. 5. Brake power. Owning 3 Ducatis, I have a passion for Brembos. And the MGX-21 arrives with them. Dual 320mm discs are squeezed by Brembo radial calipers up front, with 4 horizontally opposed pistons, and a single 282mm disc outback squeezed by a Brembo with 2 parallel pistons. 6. Electronics. The MGX-21 arrives with ride-by-wire that manages 3 riding modes: Veloz, Sport, Turismo, Touring, and Pioggia, Rain. The bike works best in Veloz due to the quick throttle response, especially in the sweet zone of 4,500 RPM and up. The bike also arrives with traction control that has 3 levels of intervention, plus and the ability to shut it off. ABS, unfortunately, can't be shut off. Unlike the TC that intervenes well, the ABS has some flaws when slamming the brakes in emergency situations. It also arrives with an entertainment system that allows AM/FM radio, Bluetooth ability, and 225W amps hooked to a speaker's sound system. It works well, but the speakers could definitely be louder, much louder. 7. Comfort. For my nearly 6-foot frame, the riding position works well. The reach to the bars doesn't lock the arms, and the standard riding pegs, floorboards are in a position a bit forward than the standard mid-controls found on many baggers. The footpegs and roomy seat provide loads of room to position your feet and behind where needed. There is a bit of vibration felt at low RPM, but when cruising all is smooth. Note, though, you do feel a sort of mechanical bump in the left foot peg when riding over bumps at speed, especially when the preload is cranked for faster handling. This definitely is a result of the shaft drive. 8. Side bag functionality/capacity. The bags have a 3-hinge closing system that works flawlessly when empty, but if cramming stuff in them it can get tricky to close. They will hold 29 liters on each side, but are not tall enough to hold my 15-inch Apple MacBook Pro. I had to attach a typical dry bag to carry my MacBook, and the only way to strap it down was in 2 upper frame points under the seat, and 2 points behind the license plate. 9. Cruise control. Yes, it is it, and it's simple to function from the left side control. But the toggle switch to increase and decrease speeds definitely needs some refinement. If trying to increase or decrease speeds in a hurry, the bike gets jumpy, quickly upsetting the chassis. 10. Finally, the looks and price. While at Sturgis, and every stop heading back to Pensy, the response was overwhelming, and nearly everyone was positive. This was great, even though sometimes you had to hold your bladder for 20 minutes discussing the MGX-21. From Harley-Davidson to Indian to Victory riders, everyone complimented the design, which by consensus, was bold and unique. The blacked-out carbon fiber, real carbon fiber, and red accents, such as the cylinder heads and Brembo brakes, were mentioned in nearly every conversation. Galluzzi nailed it in those respects. I admit I wasn't too happy with the first look on the screen, but in person it quickly consumed me. What's even cooler is that this bike is nearly the same as the prototype that was released at EICMA Milan Motorcycle Show back in 2013. This usually never happens. And the price is $21,990 lower than expected.